Hello, my name is Hannah. I hope you're having a fantastic day and I hope you're ready to learn the difference between B cells, T cells and the different variations of both, as well as how they fit into the immune response. Before we start, if you hear any sort of pitiful mewling in the background, that is my cat. He likes to shout at me. They are involved in the specific immune response as part of how the body tackles pathogens and destroys them, going on from phagocytosis, which I explained in my last video, so if you aren't up to date, go watch that. Before we start, a few key words to start us off. Lymphocytes, a kind of white blood cell. When I'm referring to B cells and T cells, it's essentially shorthand for B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Antigens, those little sticky out proteins on the surface of cells. Cell-mediated response, the response that primarily involves T cells. And the humoral response that primarily involves B cells. Receptors, which are more proteins on cell surfaces that are responsible for binding and leading to responses in the immune system. Helper T cells, cytotoxic T cells, and memory cells that we'll get into later on. Finally, we have antibodies which latch onto antigens and help remove them from the body, and phagocytes or macrophage, which are another type of white blood cell that are involved in phagocytosis. Brill! Let's get started. First off, we'll look at B cells or B lymphocytes, specifically within the humoral response. They're white blood cells and they all look a little something like this. When B cells are stimulated by helper T cells, they can then differentiate into two different types of cells, plasma cells and memory B cells. Plasma cells are the ones that divide and create loads and loads of antibodies, which are little Y-shaped proteins that attach to antigens and help to destroy the pathogen. They can also differentiate into memory cells, which, true to the name, remember laying the smack down upon the pathogen and repeat the process of duplication if the pathogen re-emerges in what's known as the secondary immune response. Next, T cells, within the context of the cell-mediated response. There's two main types of T cells you're going to have to know about for the exam. The first one is the helper T cell, which simply put tells a bunch of other cells, including phagocytes, that an immune response is happening and to get their act together sharpish. Then you've got a cytotoxic T cell. Whoa, look at it go, absolute weapon, quite literally. These cells are also known as killer T cells, which can, wait for it, directly kill other cells by poking holes into them and releasing cytotoxins. These scientists are really good at naming things, huh? So, how do these processes fit into the bigger picture? Well, when a pathogen is first detected, the specific immune response, this whole topic, begins to play out. The cell-mediated response is the response that targets pathogens within cells and involves the initial phagocytosis process and then the activation of cytotoxic T cells. Then comes the humoral response, which targets pathogens in body fluids with the antibodies produced by B cells turned plasma cells. Got it? I hope so. I also hope that I've helped in some way, and I hope you have good luck in the exam.